Good afternoon, everyone. This is David Stevens. Welcome to our first ever Weather Talk, episode number 1. We have a lot to talk about here. So if you want to, go ahead and leave your questions in the comment section, and I'll be glad to answer them. Well, let's start off by looking at our radar Omega here. We have a lot of warnings and advisories throughout the country here. Most of them are for the extreme cold. So we'll go ahead and get started looking at the first one. There we go. I'll go back here. And the dark blue area is the extreme cold warning. Now, wind chills in this area will be 55 degrees below zero. So basically, all areas north and east of the Missouri River until noon Tuesday. So very, very cold up there. In fact, it'll be cold throughout most of the nation. You see all these extreme cold air advisories and warnings and watches here. Now for Sioux City, we have a couple of different advisories here. The first one will be from 9 p.m. this evening until noon Sunday. And then we'll have a little brief break from the cold weather advisory, but it's still going to be cold all night, folks. It just, for a few hours though, won't meet the criteria for the advisory. But don't worry, the cold air advisory will kick back in at 3 a.m. Monday to noon Tuesday. So not sure any closings or businesses, but make sure you tune into your local media. Most of them do a great job of posting them on their websites and stuff. But basically, just know anywhere you see the cold air advisory, it's going to be extremely cold. While we'll talk about the Midwest, we'll go ahead and talk about the snow here. We have light snow moving through the Oklahoma area right now, and I'm going to go ahead and do a check here to see if any of this is reaching the ground. It's always a good idea to check because sometimes the radar will show the snow evaporating as it's reaching the ground. That's known as Virga, and so it's always good to check to make sure it's reaching the ground here. So it looks like for the most part it's starting to reach the ground. Northern part of Oklahoma City, where they have a little bit of light snow. So a little bit of light snow, no big deal down there. Just mainly flurries, really, as that little disturbance moves southeast. Now back over here towards New Mexico, they do have some winter storm warnings. Now keep in mind, winter storm warnings down there, it doesn't take much. So they're going to get additional accumulation up to 1 inch. So this is the way it looks right now in northeast New Mexico, with that little bit of snow moving southeast and working its way towards Amarillo. Well, there's a winter weather advisory just to the west of Amarillo. And then back down most of Texas is that cold air advisory. So very cold wind chills of 10 degrees or lower over a good portion of the area. So most of those advisories in Texas, midnight to 9 a.m. on, let's check the date, Sunday here. So it's going to be very, very cold across a good portion of the country. Now we do have that winter storm watch. That's going to be something else we're going to discuss because there's going to be a couple of snowstorms in our forecast, especially way down in the deep south, where it's been a very long time since a lot of you along the coast have received some snow. There's a potential of some mix of snow and rain coming up, and we'll get to that in a moment. But right now, this is a look at the winter storm watch for southeast Louisiana and central and east central, south central, southeast, and southwest and west central Mississippi. So a good portion of Mississippi. So this goes from late Monday night through Tuesday evening. So total snow accumulations in that area is up to 4 inches. Now this is a big deal because a lot of times a lot of these areas don't have any of the machinery to for snow plowing and treating the roads and stuff. So it's going to be a messy mess, or a sloppy mess down south, across the deep south next week. So, and right now we do have some rain there along the coast there. There's a little bit of rain south of New Orleans, and then back towards Florida here now. There is a marginal risk of severe weather, not a big outbreak or anything like that, but just keeping your eye out in case there is any warnings, as there could be a couple warnings today for severe weather. Now looking at some more areas with advisories, we have a freeze watch. This is for northeast and northern Florida and southeast Georgia from late Sunday night through Monday morning. So pretty much all this area is going to be having cold air advisories and cold air watches. So now for the good stuff, the winter storm situation here. We do have some winter weather advisories down here. This is Tennessee here. And for this area, about 2 to 4 inches of snow from midnight tonight to midnight Sunday night. So slick conditions are possible there. As you work your way eastward towards I have a lot of data on the screen. Charleston, you do have that winter storm warning with a total of 5 to 9 inches, and the winds will be gusting as high as 35 miles per hour. So that could, make for travel difficulties out there, and especially for the Monday morning commute. And that warning is from 1 a.m. on Sunday until 8 a.m. on Monday. Also, a flash freeze is possible. Basically, when temperatures crash really fast, drop really fast, any liquid moisture, any water on the pavement could freeze rapidly. So that is a flash freeze. So, and then working our way up towards the northeast here, we do have the storm system we are tracking that could bring 4 to 7 inches of snow through a good portion of the northeast. In fact, we're already seeing snow now, and we do have the winter storm advisories and alerts out there. So let's zoom into the Baltimore area, as we do have a winter storm warning just to the west of Baltimore. Total snow accumulations in this region near Baltimore will be 3 to 6 inches. So northwest Howard and northwest Montgomery counties. So this will be for tomorrow, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Sunday. Basically, it's off with rain to snow. Wind chills in the upper teens here. Let's go take a look here. So definitely there'll be a big event tomorrow, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. So travel will become very difficult. The hazardous conditions will, of course, impact travel. So basically, snow will overspread the area Sunday morning and continue through the afternoon before tapering off during the evening. So we could see snowfall rates of an inch an hour in that region. And of course, that winter weather advisory goes all the way up through Trenton and up towards New York here. And in fact, for Monday, while I'm talking about this area, in Washington, D.C., the inauguration will be held inside. So I believe the last time was back in the 80s when they had an event inside. So moving along to the north of that region, we do have the winter storm warning that extends way up north. You'll basically just know any of these locations could get 6 to 8 inches. So New York, Sullivan County, Pennsylvania, from 10 a.m. Sunday to 1 a.m. on Monday. So basically tomorrow's going to be a sloppy mess across the northeast, as we do have that storm system which will be tracking along the coast, which could bring some significant snow inland. So I'm going to go ahead and switch gears here, turn off the weather alerts here, and take a look at some of the models here. Now we'll start with the model, and then I'll use the National Weather Service forecast here. I always like to base a lot of the forecasts on the National Weather Service because they, A, are very talented meteorologists, and B, they are the ones that issue the warnings and advisories. So to go ahead and base the forecast off their numbers makes sense, because when they issue warnings, they'll say 6 to 8 inches, and then if I say 3 to 6 or whatever, it's different. that could lead to confusion. So I like to pretty much base a lot of the final forecast on what the folks at the National Weather Service is predicting for totals, and if I think otherwise, I have an opinion, I'll share it, of course, but again, I want everyone to rely on the National Weather Service for when it comes to weather prediction. Very important to do that. So, looking at the radar right now of the Northeast, we got that. Actually, I need to change the run here because that's not done yet. So, this is a look at the forecast radar picture right now. So, this is right now as we do have the snow upstate New York, some down in Pennsylvania, but this storm mainly will be for tomorrow, so I'll go ahead and speed up into time as we do have this area back here. What's happening is we have that Arctic cold front, but Arctic blast blowing through a good portion of the country, and it's mixing with what moisture is out there right now, and we are seeing a lot of overriding. So basically, that's what's causing a lot of the precipitation right now. So, and unfortunately, this model only goes out to 7 a.m., so I'll go ahead and switch it to the NAM. We'll look at the 3 km, and this is pretty much in. Okay, so this is 3 p.m. now. And I'll go ahead and fast forward it to tonight here. There we go. As you see, a lot more precipitation. Now, this is probably overdone, more likely overdone with the overriding, but just know that there could be rain and snow mix. And then some snow, light snow down towards Nashville. Not expecting a lot of accumulation down there, but this is when it really gets going tomorrow. And I'll zoom into the area here as we do have good amount of snow moving up along the northeast coast here. So again, widespread 4 to 7 inches looks likely as this storm tracks pretty much right off the coast there and through the northeast. As far as snowfall, actually I'll look at the Euro. The Euro's been really accurate this year, so I'll go ahead and go back to total precipitation rate. Actually, on this particular program, I don't have the snowfall here. I do have precipitation type here, and of course everything's in. So this is a look at the GFS. It's always good to look at multiple models, and one model I like to look at is a blend of models. I just don't have that into this computer right now. It's always good to look at a lot because it could be outliers where you have one model showing a lot of snow and one showing less. But for the most part, a lot of the models are in agreement to bring pretty significant snows across the Northeast tomorrow. So I'll go ahead and show the National Weather Service, the official National Weather Service forecast here, as we do have a lot of snow in the forecast for tomorrow, and also a lot of lake effects. No, that's something that I want to discuss as well. So I'll go back here, I'll take a look at snow totals here. So looking at the snow totals for the snowstorm here, go ahead and put the tracker on here. As like I mentioned, widespread 4 to 8 inches throughout a good portion of the area with, now you may see some areas with more, but that 21 inches, of course that's a little bit on the high side though, but those Albany, most of those locations will get about 6.5 inches. And then lake effect snow machine will be definitely kicking in the next couple of days. It's already kicking in quite a bit right now. So definitely in your areas like Buffalo, you get a lot of lake effect snow, and then across Michigan, along Lake Michigan, could get, some areas could get almost a foot, according to this model. Well, the National Weather Service, I should say, here over towards Grand Rapids, 11.5 inches of snow. And looking at lake effect snow right now, change it to the winter radar. There we go. Some lake effect snow up here towards northern Michigan, and then your lake effect snows right now located over towards Buffalo right now. That'll really start kicking, the machine will really start turning on blast for the next couple days. So if there's no more questions here, I'll wrap it up today. And again, thank you